Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. What do you say to yourself every single day? Do you wake up speaking power over your life? Or do you fill your mind with doubt and limitations? Because here's the truth, your words shape your reality. The way you talk to yourself determines your confidence, your mindset, and ultimately your success. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to change the way you speak to yourself. No more negativity, no more self-doubt, only powerful, positive, and unstoppable words. Let me ask you something important. What are you saying to yourself every single day? What words are shaping your life? Because whether you realize it or not, the way you speak to yourself determines everything, your mindset, your confidence, your decisions, and ultimately your success. Most people don't even recognize how much damage they do with their own words. They wake up in the morning and immediately think, I'm tired. I don't feel like working. I'll never be successful. Or nothing ever goes right for me. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they lack motivation, why success seems so far away. It's because they are programming themselves for failure before the day even begins. But here's what you need to know. Your brain believes what you tell it, whether it's true or not. If you keep repeating negative statements, your subconscious mind accepts them as facts. And once your subconscious believes something, it starts shaping your reality to match that belief. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, your mind won't even try. If you say, I'm not good enough, you will sabotage opportunities before they even arrive. But the moment you start changing your self-talk, something powerful happens. When you wake up and say, I am strong, I am capable, I am ready for this day, your brain starts looking for proof that it's true. When you tell yourself, I always find solutions, your mind starts focusing on possibilities instead of problems. When you say, I deserve success, you begin to act with confidence, and confidence attracts opportunities. I challenge you to try something for the next 3 days. Just 3 days. For the next 72 hours, do not allow a single negative word to come out of your mouth. If you catch yourself about to complain, stop and find something positive to say instead. If you start doubting yourself, replace it with a powerful affirmation. When you wake up in the morning, don't say, I'm tired. Say, I am energized and ready to conquer the day. When you face a challenge, don't say, I can't do this. Say, I am resourceful and I will find a way. If you start thinking, I always fail, immediately correct yourself and say, I am learning, growing, and improving every day. Because here's the secret, your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you keep planting seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that's exactly what will take root in your life. But if you start planting seeds of confidence, strength, and belief, your entire mindset will transform. For 3 days, I want you to talk to yourself like a champion, like a winner, like the person you were meant to be. When you look in the mirror, don't criticize yourself. Instead, say, I am becoming the best version of myself. When you walk into a room, don't shrink down and doubt yourself. Walk in with confidence and say, I belong here. I am valuable. I have something great to offer. And don't just say these words once, repeat them all day long. Because repetition is what creates belief. If you tell yourself something enough times, your mind will start to accept it as truth. That's why negative self-talk is so dangerous. Most people have been telling themselves the same limiting beliefs for years, and now they believe them. But the good news is, you can reprogram your mind the same way. By speaking positive, powerful words over your life, you create a new belief system, and that belief system changes your actions. Imagine waking up every day and feeling unstoppable. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone strong, confident, and full of purpose. Imagine facing challenges with the mindset that no matter what happens, you will find a way to succeed. That's the power of self-talk. And it all starts with what you say to yourself every single day. Now, I know some people will hear this and think, that sounds too simple. But let me ask you, what do you have to lose by trying? If you've spent years talking down to yourself, doubting yourself, and focusing on your flaws, what has it gotten you? If negativity hasn't worked, why not try something different? Why not try speaking life into yourself? Because here's the reality, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do this for you. You have to take control of your own mind. You have to decide that from this moment forward, you will not allow negativity to control your thoughts. You will not speak defeat over your life. You will not let self-doubt hold you back. The words you speak today are creating the life you will live tomorrow. So if you want a better life, start with better words. Speak success. Speak confidence. Speak belief. And do it for just 3 days. 3 days of replacing every negative thought with a positive one. 3 days of speaking power over yourself. 3 days of refusing to let doubt take over. I promise you, if you commit to this for 3 days, you will feel a shift. You will start walking differently. thinking differently, and acting differently. And once you see how powerful your words truly are, you'll never go back to the way things were before. This is your moment. This is your time. Change your self-talk, and you will change your life. Now go out there and start talking to yourself like a champion. Your 3 days start now. For the next 72 hours, I challenge you to do something that could completely transform your mindset and your life. I want you to speak to yourself as if success is inevitable. I want you to act as if every goal you set is already within your reach. For 3 days, commit to speaking only in terms of possibilities, strength, and positivity. When you wake up in the morning, don't look at yourself in the mirror and think about what you're lacking. Don't focus on your flaws or limitations. Instead, look at yourself and say, I am strong, I am capable, and I am prepared to win today. Let these words be the foundation of your day. Let them set the tone for everything you do, because they will. We often limit ourselves by the way we speak to ourselves. Our self-talk becomes the lens through which we view the world. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, or this is too hard, you are reinforcing the idea that failure is inevitable. But when you speak differently, when you speak with confidence, with certainty, and with belief in your abilities, your actions will start to reflect that belief. For 3 days, replace every ounce of self-doubt with statements of strength and capability. Instead of thinking, I don't have what it takes, replace it with, I am resourceful, I will find a way. Instead of saying, I'll never be successful, say, success is already on my path, and I am moving toward it every day. The power of positive self-talk lies in the fact that it has the potential to reprogram your brain. Our brains are wired to believe what we consistently tell them. That means that if you repeatedly tell yourself that you're not good enough, your brain will start to believe that. But if you consistently tell yourself that you are more than capable of succeeding, your brain will start seeking evidence to support that belief. Repetition is key. The more you reinforce positive affirmations, the stronger your belief in yourself becomes. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. During these 3 days, pay attention to how you feel. The first few moments after you wake up, tell yourself that you're grateful for the day ahead. Instead of hitting snooze and feeling rushed, say, I am energized. I am ready to take on the day, and I am going to make today count. As you go through your day, when a challenge presents itself, remind yourself, I am capable of handling this. I've got this. Even when things don't go according to plan, instead of sinking into frustration or negativity, say, this is a lesson and I am growing through it. I will find a solution. The goal isn't to ignore challenges or pretend they don't exist. The goal is to train your mind to see challenges as opportunities. By speaking to yourself as if success is already inevitable, you begin to cultivate a mindset that doesn't see failure as a setback, but as a stepping stone toward success. This mindset shift is the difference between people who stay stuck in their circumstances and those who rise above them. If you want to truly change the way you perceive yourself and the way you approach life, you have to start with the words you speak. Every great achievement in history started with a thought. That thought was then verbalized and believed. It became an idea, and then that idea transformed into action. Whether it's someone building a successful business, winning a championship, or pursuing a personal goal, every great accomplishment started with a belief in the possibility of success. Now, I know it's easy to dismiss this challenge as a simple exercise, but if you stick with it for just 3 days, you will see a shift. Your mindset will begin to change. You will notice that you feel more confident. Your thoughts will start to reflect positivity and determination. Even the way you approach obstacles will change. You'll no longer look at challenges as roadblocks, but as something that helps you grow. The beauty of this challenge is that it's entirely in your control. It doesn't require any special resources or external factors. It just requires you to decide that for the next 3 days you are going to speak as if you've already won. You are going to speak as if you are the person who is destined for greatness, because you are. We have all been conditioned to focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what we don't have. But when you shift your focus to what's possible, what you already have, and what you can achieve, your entire reality starts to change. You stop looking at limitations, and instead you start focusing on opportunities. You stop seeing obstacles and you start seeing lessons that move you forward. By the end of these 3 days, you will start to feel more empowered, more focused, and more motivated than ever before. You will have learned the power of speaking life into your goals and dreams. You will have proven to yourself that when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you live your life. And the best part is that this doesn't have to stop after 3 days. If you commit to speaking power and positivity over your life every single day, you will begin to see your life unfold in ways you never imagined. You will attract opportunities, solutions, and successes because you've trained your mind to focus on what's possible. So I challenge you today, take those first steps and talk to yourself as if success is inevitable. Tell yourself that you are worthy, capable, and destined for greatness. Do this for 3 days, and I promise you will begin to see a transformation. The way you speak to yourself is the key to unlocking the greatness that lies within you. Don't wait for permission to succeed. Speak as if you've already won, and watch your life begin to change before your eyes. You have the power within you, and it all starts with the words you speak. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and the way you speak to yourself determines how that tool is used. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to rewire your thinking by changing your words. For 3 days, speak to yourself with confidence, belief, and power. Tell yourself that you are more than capable, that you are strong, and that nothing can stop you. Because the truth is, your words shape your reality. The way you speak to yourself influences your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately, your actions. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, and negativity, you will hesitate, you will procrastinate, and you will settle for less than you deserve. But if you fill your mind with belief, determination, and positivity, you will move forward with purpose, strength, and unstoppable energy. For the next 3 days, every time you feel doubt creeping in, I want you to interrupt it immediately. Stop yourself from saying things like, I'm not good enough, or I don't know if I can do this. Instead, replace those words with something powerful. Say, I am more than capable, I have what it takes, I am unstoppable. The way you speak to yourself creates the mindset that will determine your success or failure. Negative self-talk leads to hesitation, but positive self-talk leads to action. And action is the key to everything you want in life. Think about it, how many times have you stopped yourself from taking a chance because of doubt? How many times have you talked yourself out of something before you even tried? That's the power of words. When you tell yourself, I can't, your brain accepts it as a fact. It doesn't question it. It simply follows that belief. But when you say, I will find a way, your brain shifts. It starts looking for solutions. It starts finding possibilities. It starts pushing you toward action instead of pulling you back into hesitation. For the next 3 days, challenge yourself to remove every negative statement from your vocabulary. If you start thinking, I'm not ready, change it to, I'm preparing myself every day. If you catch yourself saying, this is too hard, reframe it as, this challenge is making me stronger. The words you choose matter. They shape your perception of reality. They determine whether you see obstacles or opportunities, whether you give up or push through, whether you fail or succeed. In just 3 days, you will begin to notice a shift. At first, it might feel unnatural. You might feel like you're lying to yourself because your old way of thinking has been with you for so long. But that's the whole point. Your brain has been programmed with years of negative reinforcement. Now, it's time to reprogram it with a new empowering belief system. And it starts with your words. Imagine waking up each morning and instead of feeling tired, you tell yourself, I'm ready for this day. I have energy. I am excited for what's ahead. Imagine facing a difficult task and instead of saying, this is too much, you tell yourself, I am capable. I can handle this. I will figure it out. Imagine feeling fear about stepping outside your comfort zone. But instead of saying, I don't think I can do this, you say, this is an opportunity for me to grow. I am strong enough to face this. This shift in self-talk doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you act. When you speak to yourself with belief, you take action. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating the moment. You stop doubting yourself and start trusting your ability to figure things out. You stop seeing failure as an endpoint and start seeing it as part of the process. 3 days. That's all it takes to begin this transformation. 3 days of committing to speaking to yourself with power, with confidence, with certainty. 3 days of refusing to entertain negative thoughts, no matter how familiar they feel. 3 days of consciously choosing words that build you up instead of breaking you down. If you can do this for 3 days, you'll realize that you have more control over your mind than you ever thought possible. And the best part, you don't have to stop after 3 days. Once you see the change, you won't want to go back. You'll realize that speaking to yourself with belief and positivity is the foundation for success. You'll see that your words have the power to shift your energy, your mindset, and your entire approach to life. So starting now, decide that for the next 3 days, you will speak to yourself as if you are already successful. Speak to yourself as if you already have the discipline, the confidence, and the strength to achieve your goals. Speak to yourself as if nothing can stop you. Because when you do, something amazing happens, you start to believe it. And when you believe it, you act on it. And when you act on it, success becomes inevitable. This is your challenge. 3 days of power. 3 days of self-belief. 3 days of speaking your success into existence. Are you ready? Your mind is a garden, and your words are the seeds. Every day you are planting something with the way you speak to yourself. The question is, are you planting weeds of doubt? fear and insecurity? Or are you planting strong roots of confidence, faith, and power? For the next 3 days, I challenge you to be intentional about every word you say to yourself. Because the truth is, the way you talk to yourself is shaping your reality more than you realize. You see, your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you always fail, that nothing ever works out for you, your brain accepts that as truth and operates accordingly. You start to hesitate, you start to doubt yourself, and you start to settle for less than you deserve. But what happens when you change the dialogue? What happens when you start telling yourself, I am capable, I am powerful, I am more than enough? You shift. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start moving with confidence instead of hesitation. You start attracting success instead of repelling it. For 3 days, I want you to commit to one simple rule. If you wouldn't say it to someone you love, don't say it to yourself. Imagine if you spoke to a child the way you speak to yourself. Imagine telling a child you're not smart enough, you always mess things up, you're never going to succeed. That child would start to believe it, and their confidence would shrink. But if you spoke to them with encouragement, telling them you are brilliant, you are capable of anything, you have unlimited potential, that child would begin to believe in themselves and act accordingly. Now realize that you are that child. You need to speak life into yourself the same way. Over the next 3 days, replace every negative thought with an empowering one. If you catch yourself thinking, I'll never be successful, stop and say, I am on my way to success. If you think I'm not talented enough, correct it with, I am developing my skills every day. If you feel like saying, I always make mistakes, shift it to, I am learning and growing with every experience. The words you choose are not just words, they are instructions to your subconscious mind. And let me tell you something, your subconscious mind is always listening. It doesn't know the difference between reality and what you tell it. If you constantly say, I'm not good at this, your brain accepts it and stops trying. But if you say, I am improving every day, your brain looks for ways to make that true. The way you talk to yourself determines what your mind focuses on, what it believes, and ultimately what it creates in your life. Now, I know this might feel uncomfortable at first. If you've spent years speaking to yourself with doubt and negativity, it's going to feel unnatural to suddenly start speaking with confidence. But that's just because it's new. Think about it when you start going to the gym. The first few days feel strange. Your muscles are sore, your routine is unfamiliar, and your body is adjusting. But if you stick with it, it becomes second nature. Your muscles get stronger, your energy increases, and working out becomes a natural part of your life. The same thing happens with the way you talk to yourself. At first, positive self-talk might feel forced. You might feel like you're lying to yourself, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And after 3 days, you will start to feel a shift. You'll notice that you wake up feeling more motivated. You'll notice that you handle challenges with a new level of confidence. You'll notice that instead of doubting yourself, you start trusting yourself. Because here's the truth, you already have everything you need inside of you. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need permission. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You are already enough. You are already capable. The only thing that's been holding you back is the story you've been telling yourself. And the good news is, you can change that story anytime you decide. So for the next 3 days, talk to yourself like someone who is already winning. Speak to yourself as if you're already successful, already confident, already unstoppable. Because the moment you start believing it, your actions will follow. And when your actions align with confidence, success is inevitable. 3 days. That's all it takes to start shifting your mindset. 3 days of speaking to yourself with power, with certainty, with belief. And after those 3 days, you'll realize that this is not just a temporary exercise, it's a new way of living. Because once you see the impact of speaking to yourself with strength, you'll never want to go back. You'll understand that the words you use are not just sounds, they are the foundation of everything you will achieve. So starting now, decide that for the next 3 days, you will speak life into yourself. You will choose words that empower you, words that build you, words that move you forward. And after those 3 days, watch how your confidence grows. Watch how your energy shifts. Watch how your life starts to change. Because it will. The way you talk to yourself today will determine the person you become tomorrow. Your thoughts are powerful, but your words are even more powerful. What you say to yourself determines how you feel, how you act, and ultimately the life you create. Every day your inner dialogue is shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. The way you speak to yourself can either lift you up or tear you down. It can either push you forward or hold you back. For the next 3 days, I want you to take full control of that voice in your head. Because the moment you start speaking to yourself with power, everything in your life will start to shift. Most people don't even realize how negative their self-talk is. They wake up in the morning and immediately start criticizing themselves. I look tired. I don't feel motivated. I have too much to do. Before they've even stepped out of bed, they've already told themselves a story of defeat. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why they struggle with confidence, why they lack motivation. The truth is, the way you talk to yourself sets the tone for your entire day. If you start your morning with negativity, that negativity will follow you throughout the day. But if you start your day with power, confidence, and belief, you will carry that energy with you in everything you do. For the next 3 days, I want you to be intentional about the words you use. The moment you wake up, I want you to say to yourself, today is going to be a great day. Even if you don't fully believe it at first, say it anyway, because when you speak it, your mind starts looking for ways to make it true. Instead of saying, I'm tired, say, I am energized and ready for the day. Instead of saying, I don't feel like doing this, say, I have the discipline to get things done. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I am learning and improving every day. These small shifts in language create a massive shift in your mindset. And it's not just about motivation, it's about rewiring your brain. Science has proven that your brain listens to the words you speak. When you say, I can't, your brain stops looking for solutions. But when you say, I can figure this out, your brain starts working on a way to make it happen. Your words are instructions to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind controls your habits, your emotions, and your actions. So if you want to change your life, you must first change the way you talk to yourself. Now, I know some people might say, but what if I don't believe it? What if I don't feel confident? What if I don't feel motivated? Let me tell you something, confidence is not a feeling, it's a decision. Motivation is not something you wait for. It's something you create. The most successful people in the world don't wake up feeling confident every day. They don't always feel motivated, but they don't let their feelings control them. Instead, they speak life into themselves. They tell themselves, I've got this. They tell themselves, I am built for this. They tell themselves, no matter what happens, I will find a way. And because they say it, they start to believe it. And because they believe it, they start to act on it. So for the next 3 days, I want you to practice speaking to yourself with power. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, immediately replace it with something empowering. If you catch yourself saying, this is too hard, stop and say, I am strong enough to handle this. If you start to think, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am worthy and capable. If you begin to say, I always fail, correct it with, every failure is a lesson, and I am getting better every day. At first, it might feel strange. It might even feel unnatural. But I promise you, if you do this for 3 days, you will start to feel a difference. Your mind will begin to shift. You will start to feel more confident, more capable. You will begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You will start moving with purpose instead of hesitation. And after 3 days, you will realize that you are no longer waiting for motivation, you are creating it. You are no longer waiting for confidence, you are building it. And once you see the power of your words, you will never go back to speaking to yourself with doubt and negativity. Because here's the truth, you are far more powerful than you realize. You have the ability to create the life you want, but it starts with what you say to yourself. If you tell yourself that you are unstoppable, you will start to act unstoppable. If you tell yourself that you are capable of success, you will begin to move towards success. And if you tell yourself that you can handle anything life throws at you, you will develop the strength to face any challenge that comes your way. So for the next 3 days, make a commitment to yourself. A commitment to speak with confidence, with belief, with power. A commitment to replace every doubt with faith, every hesitation with action, every excuse with determination. And after 3 days, watch how your energy shifts. Watch how your mindset changes. Watch how you start to show up differently in the world. Because the moment you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you experience life. And that change begins right now. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. And how you use it determines the direction of your life. The words you speak to yourself shape your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your future. Most people go through life allowing their thoughts to control them rather than taking control of their thoughts. They let self-doubt, fear, and negativity dictate their decisions. And as a result, they never unlock their full potential. But if you take just 3 days to intentionally shift the way you talk to yourself, you will begin to see a transformation. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to become fully aware of the conversations happening in your mind. Pay attention to the words you use when you think about yourself, your abilities, and your future. Most people do not realize that their inner dialogue is holding them back. They say things like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or this is too hard, without even thinking about the damage those words are doing. But if you can become conscious of these thoughts and replace them with words of strength and confidence, you will start to reprogram your mind for success. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative, immediately shift it into something empowering. Instead of saying, I'll never be successful, say, I am on the path to success. Instead of saying, I'm not smart enough, say, I am learning and growing every day. Instead of saying, I always fail, say, every failure is a lesson that makes me stronger. These simple shifts in language will begin to create a new reality for you. And your brain listens to the words you speak. And when you tell yourself that you are capable, confident, and unstoppable, you will begin to act in alignment with those beliefs. Now, some people might say, but what if I don't believe it? That's the point. You don't have to believe it at first. The truth is, your mind has been programmed by years of negative self-talk, and it will take time to undo that conditioning. But if you commit to speaking to yourself with power for just 3 days, you will begin to see the difference. Confidence is not something you are born with, it is something you build. Success is not about luck, it is about developing the mindset that drives action. And the way you develop that mindset is by speaking to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become. The most successful people in the world are not those who never experience self-doubt. They are not those who always feel motivated. They are simply the ones who have trained their minds to overcome negativity. They have disciplined themselves to replace fear with faith, hesitation with action, and excuses with determination. They understand that their words create their reality, and they use that power to shape their future. You have the same ability. You have the same power. But you're willing to take control of your thoughts and speak to yourself in a way that moves you forward rather than holding you back. For the next 3 days, I want you to commit to a new habit. Every morning before you even get out of bed, I want you to say to yourself, I am strong. I am capable. I am built for success. Throughout the day, whenever you catch yourself feeling discouraged or uncertain, remind yourself, I have everything I need to succeed. Before you go to sleep at night, repeat to yourself, I am getting better every single day. These words may seem simple, but they carry immense power. The more you say them, the more you will start to believe them. And the more you believe them, the more they will become your reality. Your mind will resist at first. Years of negative programming will try to pull you back into doubt and fear. But you must push through. You must override the old patterns and replace them with new ones. You must refuse to let negativity control you any longer. Speak to yourself as if you are already successful, already confident, already unstoppable. Because the moment you do, you will begin to act in ways that align with that reality. After 3 days, you will begin to notice a shift. You will feel more in control of your emotions. You will start to take action on things you once hesitated on. You will begin to see yourself differently. And that is the beginning of real transformation. Because once you see the power of your words, you will never go back to speaking to yourself in a way that weakens you. You will recognize that you have the ability to shape your future, and you will start using that power with intention. You have a choice. You can continue letting your thoughts control you, or you can take control of your thoughts and create a new reality. You can continue speaking words of doubt, or you can start speaking words of strength. You can continue living in fear, or you can start moving forward with confidence. The decision is yours, but if you choose to take this challenge seriously, if you commit to 3 days of speaking to yourself with power, you will unlock something inside you that you never knew existed. Your words are your greatest weapon. Use them wisely. Speak to yourself like the person you want to become, and you will begin to step into that version of yourself. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your life. Your mind is the foundation of everything you do, and the way you speak to yourself determines the direction of your life. Too many people go through their days unaware of the conversations happening in their minds, letting negative thoughts dictate their emotions, decisions, and actions. They say things like, I'm not good enough, I always mess things up, or I'll never succeed, without realizing the immense damage these words cause. But if you take just 3 days to change the way you talk to yourself, you will begin to see a profound shift in your confidence, your actions, and your results. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to become hyper-aware of the words you use when you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue has been shaping your self-image for years, and if you have been feeding yourself negativity, it's no wonder you feel stuck. The words you repeat create your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not capable enough, your mind will accept that as truth, and you will act in ways that reinforce those beliefs. But the moment you take control of that dialogue and start speaking words of power, confidence and belief, you will begin to see a transformation. Whenever you catch yourself thinking negatively, I want you to stop immediately and replace the thought with something empowering. If you hear yourself say, I can't do this, change it to, I am more than capable. If your mind says, I always fail, replace it with every setback is a setup for a comeback. If you feel yourself doubting your abilities, remind yourself, I have everything within me to succeed. These small adjustments may not seem like much, but over time, they rewire your brain. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is repeated. Whatever you say to yourself consistently becomes your truth. Some people might argue, but what if I don't believe it? That's exactly the reason why you need to do this. You have spent years reinforcing negative beliefs about yourself, and it takes time to undo that conditioning. At first, it might feel unnatural or even silly to tell yourself positive things, but trust the process. Your mind adapts to what you feed it. Just like muscles grow when you exercise, confidence grows when you consistently affirm your strength. The more you tell yourself you are powerful, the more you will start to feel it. Success is not reserved for a lucky few. It is built through discipline, belief, and consistent action. The most successful people are not the ones who never experience doubt. They are simply the ones who have trained their minds to push through it. They don't allow fear to paralyze them. They don't let negative thoughts take control. They talk to themselves in a way that builds them up rather than tearing them down. They have mastered the art of self-encouragement, and that is what you must do. For the next 3 days, I want you to start your mornings by looking in the mirror and declaring powerful truths about yourself. Say, I am confident. I am unstoppable. I am destined for greatness. Throughout the day, anytime doubt creeps in, counter with an empowering statement. If you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, I can handle anything that comes my way. Before you go to sleep at night, affirm, I am getting better and stronger every single day. These words are not just empty phrases, they are seeds being planted in your mind. And if you water those seeds daily, they will grow into unshakable belief. You might be wondering, how can words alone change my life? Words are not just sounds, they are energy. They carry meaning and they influence your actions. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, you will hesitate to take action. If you believe you are destined to fail, you won't even try. But if you start reinforcing the belief that you are powerful, capable, and worthy of success, you will begin to take action in alignment with that belief. Your confidence will increase, your energy will shift, and people will notice the change in you. Many people fail to reach their full potential not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they never master their internal dialogue. They let fear win. They let doubt dictate their choices. They allow negative self-talk to keep them in a cycle of hesitation and inaction. But you don't have to live that way. You have the power to change it. And it all starts with how you speak to yourself. After 3 days of talking to yourself with intention, you will start to notice a shift. You will feel more in control of your thoughts. You will catch yourself stopping negative self-talk before it takes hold. You will find yourself standing taller, walking with more confidence, and approaching challenges with a new mindset. And that is only the beginning. Because once you see the power of your words, you will never go back to speaking to yourself in a way that weakens you. You have a choice right now. You can continue allowing negative thoughts to control you, or you can take charge of your mind and start speaking to yourself in a way that empowers you. You can continue living in fear, or you can start moving forward with faith. You can keep reinforcing self-doubt, or you can start building unshakable confidence. The choice is yours. But if you commit to this challenge for just 3 days, you will begin to unlock a version of yourself that you never knew existed. Your words are the foundation of your mindset. They are the blueprint for your future. Speak to yourself as if you are already successful, already confident, already unstoppable. Because the moment you do, you will begin to act in ways that align with that belief. And when you change your mindset, you change your life. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and the way you speak to yourself determines how you use it. Every thought you entertain, every word you repeat in your mind, and every belief you reinforce shapes your reality. Most people go through life unaware of the silent dialogue happening inside them. They allow their thoughts to run on autopilot, often feeding themselves doubts, fears, and limitations without realizing the impact. But for the next 3 days, I challenge you to take full control of your inner dialogue. Speak to yourself in a way that builds you up, strengthens your confidence, or strengthens and pushes you forward. If you do this with intention, you will notice a remarkable shift in your energy, your mindset, and your actions. The way you speak to yourself is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you always fail, that you're not as smart, talented, or capable as others, then those words become your reality. Your brain believes what you consistently repeat. If you tell yourself you're not worthy of success, you will act in ways that sabotage your own progress. But the moment you shift that inner conversation and start affirming your strengths, you unlock a new level of potential. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you begin to say, I am capable and I will figure it out. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you remind yourself, I have everything within me to succeed. These small changes in language create powerful changes in your life. If you want to transform your self-image, you must first transform your self-talk. Many people think confidence comes from external validation, achievements, compliments, or recognition. But true confidence is built from within. It starts with the words you tell yourself every single day. If you constantly reinforce doubt, you will feel weak. But if you reinforce strength, courage, and determination, you will start to embody those qualities. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about training your mind to focus on what empowers you rather than what defeats you. For the next 3 days, I want you to become fully aware of every thought you allow into your mind. When you catch yourself saying something negative about yourself, immediately replace it with something empowering. If you find yourself thinking, I'm too tired to keep going, change it to, I have the strength to push through. If you hear yourself saying, I never get anything right, shift it to, I am learning and growing every day. Your words are instructions to your subconscious mind, and whatever you feed it consistently becomes your truth. Start each morning by looking in the mirror and speaking life into yourself. Say, I am strong. I am confident. I am in control of my thoughts and actions. At first, it may feel strange or forced, especially if you've spent years reinforcing the opposite. But don't let discomfort stop you. Just like muscles grow with consistent training, your mindset strengthens with consistent positive reinforcement. The more you repeat empowering words, the more your brain accepts them as reality. Throughout the day, whenever doubt tries to creep in, counter it immediately. If you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, I can handle this. I have everything I need to succeed. If fear tries to hold you back, say, I am fearless and I take action despite my fears. Before you go to sleep at night, reflect on your progress and affirm, I am becoming stronger every day. I am moving closer to my goals. I am in control of my destiny. These words are not just empty phrases, they are rewiring your brain. People underestimate the power of their words because they don't see immediate results. But just like a seed planted in the ground takes time to grow, your words take time to manifest into reality. The more you speak strength into yourself, the more you will notice a shift in how you feel, how you think, and how you act. Your confidence will grow. Your energy will shift. You will begin to walk with more certainty and approach challenges with a new perspective. Most people don't struggle because they lack intelligence or ability. They struggle because they allow negative self-talk to control them. They let fear dictate their decisions. They repeat words that keep them small and hesitant. But you have the power to break that cycle. You have the power to rewrite your internal dialogue. And once you do, nothing can stop you. After 3 days of intentionally speaking to yourself with confidence and belief, you will notice a difference. You will catch yourself stopping negative thoughts before they take over. You will start to feel a renewed sense of control over your mindset. You will begin to trust yourself more. And this is only the beginning. Because once you see the power of your words, you will never go back to speaking to yourself in a way that weakens you. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue allowing negative self-talk to hold you back, or you can take full control of your mind and start feeding it the words that will propel you forward. You can keep reinforcing self-doubt, or you can start building an unstoppable mindset. The choice is yours. But if you commit to this challenge for just 3 days, you will begin to unlock a version of yourself that is stronger, more confident, and more powerful than you ever imagined. Your words are the foundation of your life. They shape your thoughts, influence your emotions, and drive your actions. Speak to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become. Speak to yourself as if success, strength, and resilience are already within you, because they are. The moment you change your self-talk, you change your reality. Your words have power. They are not just sounds that disappear into the air. They shape your reality, define your mindset, and influence every decision you make. Most people go through life unaware of how their internal dialogue affects them. They allow their thoughts to run wild, unchecked, and often negative. But if you take just 3 days to consciously change the way you speak to yourself, you will begin to see a remarkable transformation. The words you use when you talk to yourself determine your confidence, your motivation, and your ability to push through challenges. For the next 3 days, you need to be intentional with your self-talk. Instead of tearing yourself down, build yourself up. Instead of reinforcing fear and doubt, reinforce strength and confidence. If you commit to this simple practice, you will realize how much power you truly have over your own mind. Many people believe their circumstances control their mindset. They think if life is hard, they will naturally feel discouraged, or if they face setbacks, they have no choice but to doubt themselves. But the truth is, your mindset is shaped by what you tell yourself every day, not by what happens to you. You may not be able to control every situation in life, but you can control how you respond to it. The way you talk to yourself in moments of difficulty determines whether you rise or fall. When you make a mistake, do you say, I'm such a failure, or do you say, I'm learning and improving every day? When you face rejection, do you tell yourself, I'll never succeed? Or do you remind yourself, this is just a step on my journey to success? The way you speak to yourself matters more than you realize. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to take full control of your internal dialogue. The first step is to become aware of your thoughts. Pay attention to what you say to yourself throughout the day. Every time you catch a negative thought, stop it immediately and replace it with something empowering. If you find yourself thinking, I'll never be good enough, shift it to, I have the ability to grow and improve. If you hear yourself saying, I always fail, change it to, every failure is a lesson that brings me closer to success. This is not about pretending life is perfect or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing to focus on what strengthens you rather than what weakens you. Start each morning by looking in the mirror and speaking positive words over yourself. Say, I am strong. I am capable. I am becoming better every day. At first it may feel awkward or forced, especially if you're used to negative self-talk. But repetition is the key to transformation. Just as a muscle grows stronger with consistent exercise, your mindset strengthens when you consistently feed it positive reinforcement. Throughout the day, whenever doubt or fear tries to creep in, counter it with empowering words. When you feel tired, remind yourself, I have the energy to push through. When you feel discouraged, say, I have overcome challenges before, and I will overcome this one too. Every time you choose empowering words, you rewire your brain for success. The words you speak shape your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. When you constantly tell yourself that you are weak, unworthy, or incapable, you start to believe it. And when you believe it, you act accordingly, you hesitate, you hold back, you settle for less than you deserve. But when you start speaking words of confidence and determination, you begin to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you take bold actions, you push past obstacles, and you refuse to settle. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts, and your thoughts are shaped by your words. If you want to change your life, start by changing your self-talk. Before you go to bed at night, take a moment to reflect on your progress. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, focus on what you did well. Remind yourself, I am growing, I am learning, and I am getting closer to my goals every day. The words you speak before you sleep set the tone for the next day. If you go to bed feeling defeated, you will wake up feeling the same way. But if you go to bed reinforcing your progress, you will wake up with a renewed sense of motivation. People underestimate the power of their words because they don't see immediate results. But just like a seed planted in the ground takes time to grow, the words you plant in your mind take time to manifest. If you commit to speaking empowering words to yourself for 3 days, you will notice a shift. You will start to feel more in control of your thoughts. You will begin to catch negative self-talk before it takes over. You will feel a renewed sense of confidence and purpose. Most people struggle not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they allow negative self-talk to control them. They believe the doubts in their mind and let fear dictate their actions. But you have the power to break that cycle. You have the ability to rewrite your internal dialogue. And once you do, nothing can stop you. At the end of these 3 days, you will realize that you are stronger than you thought, more capable than you believed, and more in control than you ever imagined. You will see that the biggest battle you face is not in the outside world, but in your own mind. And once you learn to win that battle, you will be unstoppable. So start today. Speak to yourself like the person you want to become. Speak to yourself with confidence, strength, and belief. Because the words you choose today will shape the life you live tomorrow. Your mind is constantly listening to the words you say to yourself. Every thought you entertain, every phrase you repeat becomes a seed planted in the soil of your subconscious. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs, and those beliefs shape your reality. Most people are unaware of how much their internal dialogue controls their life. They repeat negative statements without realizing they are programming themselves for failure. They say things like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or nothing ever works out for me. And then they wonder why they struggle to move forward. But the truth is, your words have power. They create patterns in your brain that determine your confidence, your motivation, and your ability to overcome challenges. If you want to change your life, you must first change how you talk to yourself. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to become fully aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to the words you use, especially in difficult moments. When you face a setback, do you tell yourself, I knew this would happen. I always fail, or do you say, this is a temporary challenge and I will find a way through it? When you wake up in the morning, Do you immediately think about all the things that could go wrong? Or do you remind yourself today is a new opportunity to grow and succeed? Most people let their thoughts run on autopilot, allowing negativity to dominate their mindset. But if you take control of your inner dialogue, you can completely transform your mental and emotional state. The way you talk to yourself determines your energy, your focus, and your ability to take action. If you constantly tell yourself that you are tired, weak, or incapable, your body will respond accordingly. But if you begin to speak words of strength and determination, you will notice a shift in how you feel. Instead of saying, I don't have the energy, try saying, I am full of energy and ready to take on the day. Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, I have overcome challenges before, and I will overcome this one too. At first, this may feel unnatural, especially if you have spent years reinforcing negative self-talk. But just like training a muscle, the more you practice positive self-talk, the stronger it becomes. One of the most powerful things you can do is start your day with intentional self-talk. Stand in front of the mirror each morning and speak words of encouragement to yourself. Say, I am strong, I am capable, I am focused, I am undisciplined. I am becoming the best version of myself. When you affirm these truths daily, they begin to take root in your subconscious mind. You start to believe in your potential, and that belief drives your actions. When you face obstacles, you won't immediately give in to doubt or fear because your mind is conditioned to focus on solutions instead of problems. Throughout the day, make a habit of catching negative thoughts and replacing them with empowering ones. When you notice yourself thinking, I'll never succeed, stop immediately and say, I am learning, improving, and getting closer to my goals every day. When fear tries to creep in, tell yourself, I am courageous and I refuse to let fear control my decisions. The key is consistency. It's not enough to do this once or twice. You must commit to it every single day. Just as negative self-talk can become a habit, so can positive self-talk. Your words do not just affect your mindset, they also affect your emotions. If you constantly speak words of doubt and frustration, you will feel overwhelmed and discouraged. But if you speak words of confidence and determination, you will feel empowered and motivated. Your emotions are a direct reflection of the thoughts you entertain. That's why it's so important to guard your garden and be intentional about the words you speak to yourself. If you allow negativity to take root, it will grow like weeds, choking out your confidence and clarity. But if you plant words of strength, belief, and resilience, you will cultivate a mindset that can withstand any challenge. At night, before you go to bed, take a few minutes to reflect on your progress. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, focus on what went right. Remind yourself of the challenges you faced and how you handled them. Even if you made mistakes, acknowledge your growth and commit to learning from them. Say to yourself, I am proud of my progress. I am moving forward. I am becoming better every day. The words you speak before sleep set the tone for how you feel when you wake up. If you go to bed with thoughts of failure and frustration, you will wake up with a heavy heart. But if you go to bed reinforcing your progress and potential, you will wake up feeling ready to take on the day. Many people struggle in life not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they allow negative self-talk to control them. They believe their doubts more than they believe in their potential. They let fear dictate their actions instead of stepping into their power. But you have the ability to break that cycle. You have the power to rewrite your internal dialogue and reprogram your mind for success. It all starts with the words you speak to yourself. When you commit to this practice for just 3 days, you will notice a shift. You will feel more in control of your thoughts and emotions. You will start to catch negative self-talk before it takes over. You will feel a renewed sense of confidence and clarity. And once you realize that you have the power to shape your mindset, you will never want to go back to your old way of thinking. At the end of these 3 days, you will see that the most important battle you fight is not in the outside world, but in your own mind. When you learn to control your self-talk, you gain the ability to control your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your future. So start today. Speak to yourself with the same kindness, strength, and encouragement you would give to someone you love. Choose words that build you up rather than tear you down, because the words you speak today will determine the life you create tomorrow.